All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are live. Oh, my goodness. It is mid May. I turned 44 in just a couple weeks, folks. I'm conflicted about that. Anybody who gets nostalgic and, you know, or misses that, or Jeff misses, 44, I guess, um, or you're like, man, I got 20
Like
years
20
before
years
I'm,
over that.
yeah. Or if you're 20 years before 44, yeah. But you know what? I had a virus, all kind of things happening. We live in the like uncertainty now. Everybody's losing their minds. The world's turning around. It seems, and it's ain't it good just to be surrounded by good people that you can rely on to push each other up, get through the hard times. So yeah, I'm mushy today. Get over it. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to the folks who were here 10 minutes before, right? So that is CJ. CJ got us. We were backstage and we said, "Oh my God, are we live?" We don't nobody wants to hear the backstage chatter. Jesus. Um, and so thank you for the heart attack, Level Up and Dr. CJ. And yes, happy Wednesday to you. And then we got Homer. I don't know what Homer was trying to put there. I didn't like his emojis. And he was there early too. So thank you, Mr. Homer. He's my guy. So he's the one that does the stuff that I can't do if I'm going to help everybody else. So thank you, Mr. Homer. I appreciate you guys. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and cut to the chase. Um, I want to make sure, folks, because right now, man, money supply seems to be tight. People are making decisions. They're holding on to stuff, and it's really, I get it. You want to be responsible, right? You want to make sure your money's going to go to the right places, and this could be one of those places. So we're going to talk in theory, but we also are going to talk about not just summits, how some things to look for. We got Nicole Borgie. She's all about summits. She is the summit queen. All right, virtual summits and for cause marketing. So you're going to learn a lot. Get your paper and pencil out. If you're watching this on the recording, we're going to stick the stuff you need to learn. We're going to give you Nicole, her info, but also information about an upcoming summit that might be a good fit for you. If it's not a good fit, don't do it. But if it is, have that meeting, talk to she and I. The Hounds are supporting the summit, and we're taking it next level. It's a great summit. People get a lot of benefit from it. The audience members in attendance, as well as the guests and the speakers and the keynotes and sponsors. So this is going to be educational. No phony sales pitch infomercials here. But we do want to make sure that you guys know, hey, that is something that could help me in this turbulent time grow my business. All right, that's what we're all about. So let's roll the intro. Let's do that, and then we'll come back and just have a good chat. Look at y'all behaving. Look, this ain't church. Y'all all right? Y'all can have fun. Hey, go get a beverage or something. Loosen up. All right, good. It's been a rough day. I'm just teasing y'all. All right, I'll find the daggum buttons here in a minute. See why I need to get more people to help me out.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbranner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
All right, let's pull some folks up. Susanna, thank you so much. CJ and Homer beat you today, so you must be super extra busy. But thank you for being here, my friend. Appreciate you. That's why I'm a two-time international best-selling co-author because of those two ladies, Dr. CJ, Level Up Academy, and Susanna Don Ryder. Right. So, folks, if you're trying to figure it out, again, times are tough, money's tight, we're not sure where to invest, what's going to help us. Here's what I do know. If you talk to these ladies and it's not the best fit, they're going to tell you that. They're not just going to try to make money on you. And that's what we're all about. All right. And they'll probably send you somewhere that would be the best fit. Right. So you can keep going. All right. So let's drop this. I want to give some shout outs because we got amazing people in the Hounds and we want to share what they got going on. So I don't know all the details, but here, everybody knows her. All right. If you don't, her name is April Wyatt, Wyett. And she now has an upcoming retreat. And she has these, and people rave about them, folks. They're awesome. We'll put some details on our LinkedIn as well as Hounds of Business on YouTube. But she lived in Japan. She's got friends in Japan. It's been a long time, I think, several years. And now she gets to introduce her retreat friends, right, her professional friends, with her Japanese friends. So this is super cool. I am super jealous. And so I want everybody to go. April Wyatt will put her info in the comments. But livingwithintention.co. So livingwithintention.co is where to find her, folks. She is a fantastic person. She does breath work, Reiki, meditation, and the most non-woo-woo lady in this field. I love her stuff. It's just, you got to check it out. Trust me. If I'm doing it, come on, dadgummit, go check it out. And then we want to say that the ongoing Purpose Summit. So we are official sponsors, proud to promote, support the Purpose Summit with Davin Silvano. He was on the show 2 weeks ago. Absolute pleasure. He wrote the book on finding your purpose. And this is the 6th year this thing has been out there. And it's tremendous. They're really out there trying to do good, pulling in nonprofits, for-profits, individuals. They've got some really great talent out there and want to make sure that folks knew about this. Go ahead and go to thepurposesummit.com. And so you can track for next year. They're already going to be planning very soon for next year, maybe next fall. So we're looking forward to helping and promoting that to make that even more impactful the following year. And look at these people. I saw Jen Drummond on there. I said, okay, now you got my attention. There she is over top right. We've had her on the show before. She is fantastic, phenomenal. And there's a lot of great folks here. And the fun part is you just don't hear them talk. You get to rub elbows, network, get to know people, share ideas. They have a lot of good workshops in this. So good job, Davin. And thank you, Bill Forrester, for CEO Zones. Right? Thank you for the connection and the opportunity to support and help this amazing mission. And look at that guy. He looks familiar. Well, you incognito?
Familiar.
We got a hat on.
That's better.
That's you.
Look at you.
That's you.
Yay.
Dude, StreamYard doesn't like emojis. They did that to Danielle, too. Danielle, good to see you. And sorry about the emoji stuff. So, Dr. Jeff, let me explain this to you all. Before Jeff gives just a real quick, what he's got going on and what you can be a part of. Man, folks in this arena I'm not going to knock them all, but man, they wasn't on my radar. So when I was introduced to Jeff by Tanya Eberhardt of BrandFace, I said, oh my goodness, I'm from finance and I do a lot of business on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh no, not this guy. All right. But because I'm used to the gimmicky stuff, and we all see it, right? Like this gimmicky weirdness that's in our DMs, and people are like those little things that flop around at the car lot. That's what it reminds me of, just nonsense kind of stuff. And but Jeff has an educational approach. Jeff wants to share knowledge. Jeff's okay if you say yes, no, or not now. That won me over a year. So I'm happy. I love what Jeff does. I do what Jeff does. And for those who are interested, absolutely 1000% recommend that you go to Jeff's webinar or one-on-ones or whatever he's wanting to do and learn from this guy, because this is real stuff. Like major companies been around for hundreds of years are in this kind of wheelhouse in the currency space, but the rest of us don't see that. And so Jeff's kind of that bridge. He's kind of like, hey, I'll give you the real, like, what they tell the wealthy people, I'm just going to educate you the same way. So that's my redneck version of Jeff. Tell us what you got coming on, just a real small version. And then do you have a webinar coming up folks can tap into, Jeff?
Yeah, I do actually. So thanks, Mike. It's good to be here with you and Nicole and be part of the Hounds of Business. It's been an amazing journey. So yeah, I'm all about providing information, and I really share part of my story is as an ex-software engineer back in 2009, I was approached to the opportunity of purchasing 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. And that's an 85-cent investment. My response was, nah, sounds like a scam. Today, it has sold for, it's been valued at over $100,000 per coin. It'd probably be on a beach eating bonbons right now.
But somebody probably came at you with all that nonsense, right? And you just like, I don't know.
Well, exactly. So it's really about where are we today in time? And I referenced, and I talked about this in my international speech out in the Dominican Republic 2 weeks ago. We are in a time where we're in front of a paradigm shift that is really going to project how we do things in the future. And I ask people to keep an open mind and think about the days back in Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon. They revolutionized their respective fields decades ago. Well, that's where we are today with this new technology, real tech, fintech, edtech, AI, and metaverse. So these are the new technologies that are changing the future. And I want to educate people about that on top of providing them information to really think about portfolio diversification. And that's what it's about. If it's for you, great. If it's not, it's not. If it's later, it's later. But with that, I do have a webinar that I am doing on Saturday. It's actually the very first webinar that I'm doing in the metaverse, and I'm gonna be wearing these glasses, all right, and I'm gonna project, or what's called cast, what I see in the metaverse onto the screen so people can see it. They won't be able to physically feel it because they're not in the metaverse. So that is going to be this Saturday. And for anybody that does attend, I'm providing a very special enrollment incentive of anywhere from 10 to 50% free money. So you'll have to attend that to find out what that's all about. But again, it's really where are you today? Where do you want to be in 3 to 5 to 10 years? And what I really love about this, as you mentioned, we've got giants. This metaverse that we and this platform that we're releasing it's accredited by Microsoft, Amazon Web Services. It won the Microsoft EdTech Award. We are a member of the Amazon Web Services Accelerator Growth X, group. So we're getting tons of recognition. And we just established in the U.S. We've got a U.S. Headquarters in San Jose. So things are really bopping, and there is time to getting in on the ground floor. So think about those days that you missed, whether it was with Microsoft, Apple, whatever, or even with Bitcoin. So those times are starting to change. There is opportunity. So reach out, and you can, there's the QR code. And I'll drop it in. I'll drop in the link for after this in the chat, so people can register. Pick on the 17th. If you can't make the 17th, I do have other ones. I do 5 a month to really get the information out there. Thanks for letting me share.
No, thanks for sharing that. And we'll put more info. We'll put it on the YouTube upload. We'll put it in the YouTube comments here soon after we close the live stream. And if you're wondering why I'm over here like Porky Pig stuttering, it's because I had a virus, and nothing they can do about it. So it just happens. But I got David Menesky helping me with my Jaded Health Life 42 program. So I got plenty of help. So anyway, thank you, Jeff, for being sensical and helping me understand something, because I didn't want to be the way I put this. I didn't want to be the maid that didn't invest in Google in the 90s, kind of, that kind of stuff. I don't want to miss opportunity.
You don't want to lose out on that opportunity. And Jeff has a ton of education, and it's just simple and it's easy, to connect with him and learn more about it. Definitely good stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If it's good for you, great. If it's not for you, tell a friend. Nobody's chasing you down and like a dog catcher here. That's the whole point. Oh, and speaking of Cooler Than a Ceiling Fan, there's Mr. Sly. Oh man, that guy, he's brand new to the Hounds, pretty new. Met him through Pantheon FM. Folks, if you're not familiar with that, go check that out. Pantheon.fm. Amazing people. Josh Tapp, great guy, and love working together. And we could do more together, and that's proof of it. So Sly helps people with their messaging, like speaker messaging. This guy is a brilliant guy. So Sly, if you want to throw your LinkedIn DM for people, go ahead and do that, my friend, man. I like to share you with folks. You're good people. And Kimmy's here. All right. Good to see you, Kimmy. Thank you from UK. Oh, my goodness. What is it, like 12? It's midnight there. Woo, I feel special, dadgum. All right. So let's go ahead. Thank you all for the patience. And I'm really excited because everybody's got a summit, right? And some of them are really good. Dr. CJ has a good summit. I'm always on board with that. Some other hounds. But y'all want to hear something ridiculous? Well, I'm just saying more ridiculous things than normal. All right. So when I was a little kid, my grandma would have QVC on the TV like all the time. And apparently the lady's voice is just like Nicole's voice. So when I first came to the summit, I was like, nostalgic, right? I was like, why am I feeling like I'm 6 again? You know, and it's because of the voice. It dawned on me. But I had a good time. Wasn't even sure what she was talking about. I just showed up because somebody told me to, and really enjoyed it. Really got value. It was, you know, I didn't feel like I was being forced and sold to. I was educated, and I found myself getting excited about opportunities that could help me, like real ones, right? I wanted to connect. I wanted to engage. I wanted to learn more about what people were doing. And then it dawned on me, hey, that's called a diamond in the rough, right? Right, Sly? And so that's why we're working now, and we're honored because now the Hounds of Business and myself are helping put together this upcoming summit and promote this summit and really take it to the next level because this is really good. So we're not just going to promote infomercial the summit. We want to give you all some real concrete things, like we said, especially because of the climate, you know, uncertainty. People are, you know, holding on to their wallets a little tighter. And we wanted to make sure that, hey, you don't miss an opportunity out of fear. This could be for you or it could be for someone you know. And you're going to learn some things, how to pick summits, you know, what are some key things here? How can summits help your organization, et cetera? So have fun, and I'll ask some audience questions, but chime in, folks. Chime in with your thoughts, your process. And, hey, last thing, Hounds of Business, shameless plug, right? Don't do this alone. Business is hard, all right? Don't try to do it without the people, resources, support to get it done, right? We're not the only community, but we are special. We do things different, and we don't do the pitch slap. We don't need the sales pitches here, man. We push each other up. And so if you're frustrated, you feel like you suck, I'm not getting leads, I'm not figuring this entrepreneur thing out, yeah, well, give us a shot because you see what we're doing here, right? We're pushing each other up in organic ways, folks. So test drive us, and if we're not for you, I'll send you somewhere. Probably Pantheon. My Pantheon might be a good fit. Maybe you might be able to do both, right? It's not about us. Yeah, we want you to get unstuck. We want you to succeed, make the impact in the world that you were destined to make, right? So don't take it lightly. Don't, you know, just go out there and explore, right? That's my whole PBS special. All right. So, all right, let's get started. I want to get started. We'll go to you first, Nicole, because Jeff is here because he is a participant and a speaker of the summit and the workshop, correct?
Absolutely. He is part of the 3-day workshop, the Prosperity Portal, and he's part of Control Alt Scale. So that's a solopreneur event, you know, for business. And he's a speaker, and he has spoken on my stage before. He's a great person. And you too, Mike, you've spoken on one of my stages. Yeah. It's really about the connection, just like how the Hounds connects. We connect to get seen and heard, and that's the absolute part of events. And that's why we want to do them. You have a cause, or you have a product or service you want to sell, you got to get on the stage. But better yet, especially with what the Hounds and all of us three here are, and beautiful people like April and the Prosperity Summit and Dr. TJ, we're all about being heart-centered, and we're all about alchemical alignment. And are we in the right place? Are we doing what we want to do with that purpose and that passion? And that's what makes the job fun.
Rob, no, cancel the call. No, I'm joking. That's what I tell CJ. He's like, I got to go. I got my class. I said, cancel it. She's like, I can't cancel it. So thank you for tuning in, Rob. It will be on YouTube and LinkedIn, my friend. So let's get into this, because before I get into your backstory, because it is worth sharing. All right, people can relate to it. But what's the difference between a summit that flops like a fish out of water and one that actually transforms people's lives and businesses and bank accounts? What's the main difference?
Well, the main difference that transforms is if you have a summit and you decide to have a summit for 3 days, and you decide just to have any old speaker anywhere at any time, and there's no flow, there's no planning, there's no strategy, it's poor, it's bad. You didn't plan, you didn't have a strategy, and people will kind of show up, but there's no meaning there. What's the true transformation? What is your goal here? What's your cause? And I truly believe in for a cause marketing. What is the cause of your summit, and what's the underlying cause of the summit? And I do summits with people, and I teach them how. It's very important for me to share the how. But the underlying cause is for me is always sharing, maybe to the nonprofit, which I work with as a chairwoman, of confronting domestic violence. So a portion of those proceeds of the ticket sales, or if there's a speaker fee, or if there's a media package, portion of that I donate to confronting domestic violence on a quarterly basis. And I think that's very important because we always have a mission and a purpose that we want to serve. I believe so many of us. And, we want to do better for better. And instead of asking for a handout, how about we just ask for a hand up and we work together in unison? And that's what we can drive traffic to. It's also branding and marketing the cause that we have. And so whether that cause is puppy or kittens, or you want to share the community, it's to me, it's not just one person, because one person isn't really going to help everybody. Right. You can make a change. They will not commit to the change. It's like going through rehab. If you know somebody that has gone through that, if everybody around them is still drinking, that's no good. If they're still bartending, right. How are they not going to drink? It's like, whoa, what's going on here? But really, if everybody is on that same purpose around you, your family, your business, the causes that you're in, if everybody around you is changing and you're educating the community, you're giving to the community, you're doing better, then everybody changes. It's the same with entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. We don't want to leave them in the dust. It's important, bless you, it's really important to share with them how they can upscale their lives and truly lead from within, not just be a soul-led entrepreneur one day and wake up, but really lead the way and delegate properly and share with people information. And that's what you and Dr. Jeff are so great about on the stages. You educate people and share with them some great tips, tricks, and nuggets, how to change their life, how to change their business, and get rich.
Yeah, because, most people, at least me anyway, country people for sure, we don't want to be sold. I just need to know. I need to know all the information involved. Then I can make an informed decision based on my life and my needs, right? That's it. You don't need to sell it. If I'm hungry and there's a sandwich and I like tuna, that's an easy sale, right? You don't have to go and convince me the sandwich is X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. You just say, hey, there's a sandwich. It's reasonably priced, right? Like there it is. And that's why I love running with the folks here, because they share that. But I want to get a little bit before we dive in more in general and specific about summits and then how they can tap into this one if it works. I want to make sure that we go into it because people don't know this about you. Give us a tiny bit of background and then go from there. But so here's what I love. You went from protecting folks at a casino, right, to protecting entrepreneurs from boring conversation killing events, right? So it's a hell of a journey. So what was the moment you realized that you had to help people create digital experiences that actually matter?
Well, thank you for asking that, because the most important thing is, especially with healers and coaches, and that's a huge part of my audience, is that connection and the change. But I wasn't doing anything in law enforcement, in juvenile hall, or in the casino, because, people go hog wild in the casino. It's a bit of a hands-on job, but people don't really realize how much it takes to run that casino and keep people safe and be able to move from point A to point B. But really sharing is if I want to help, if I want to encourage even just my clients, and I want to train, because it's a passion of mine. I've been a trainer and I've been a manager. The best way is to train people and teach them and mentor them, and to change the world and to change the millions of people, especially just in, for example, confronting domestic violence. One of the first summits that we did in there was in virtual reality. Why? Because they're in a safe space. They can come as they are. They don't have to dress up. They don't have to buy expensive clothes. And guess what? If they cannot come in a safe space, it's not safe for them to show their face. They're not going to get doxxed in there. They're going to be able to show their face. They're going to be able to speak their truth. And it's your voice, it's your worth. And really to amplify that message. And if we move domestic violence victims from point A to point B, that's our mission and purpose there. How are they going to have a job? What are they going to do next? They have to sell their wares. They have to sell their products and their services. And this is really teaching them more about the business. And that's how that went into that, even into working with solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. You need to sell your stuff. And how do you do it? You get on a stage. It's a virtual world, and we were shut down in 2020. Nobody knew how to unmute. Some people kind of forgot to put their pants on, but I
still don't unmute. I'm always on.
But it and tech does its thing. things. It has its hiccups. But when we start to embrace that it's going to change, shoot, we were even Star Trek. We've got the holodeck with virtual reality. It's here, people. And if you want to change it, don't be scared of it. The robots aren't taking over the world, not just in the next five years or so. We're okay still. But if we sprinkle a bit of good juju in there and put our good energy in there as healers, then what will happen? That space will be a safe space for us. We know how to use it for good. And if we walk away and we ignore it, then it's not going to go away and somebody else is going to change it and they're going to press the button and everything will blow up. And then what happens now? We've given our control over. So the point is really to get the message out about your business, about what you do. Or even if you have a story to tell, if you want to really be a mind shift coach, and you want to change people's how they think and do, then you need to educate them and be part of it. Bring them into your community, and it's okay. Here's the space to do it on. And you know what? You should get paid for it. It shouldn't all be free. People hosting a summit and some people even coming on the stage. How do you get paid for your stuff? And it's no good to be the best kept secret.
Right.
You're not doing yourself any favors.
Well, you said a lot there, and I want Jeff to chime in after this question because, a whole lot. First of all, you are with Confronting. You're the chairwoman, right? Are you chair of Confronting DV, Domestic Violence?
Yes, absolutely. I'm the chairwoman. Yes.
And again, not to brag, but it's an honor to be able to support that, and it's a testament to the relationships that are built through communities like the Hounds. That, like, you can't make it up. Right? Like, there's no way I'll be like, can I help out this? No, like, that's weird. Right? But because of relationships, because we trust each other, because we know each other's value, it becomes second nature to say, hey, you need to meet this person, right? Make up your own mind. But, this person has the right solution, more than likely. And this person is trustworthy. They're vetted. And that is a big deal, especially when, uncertain times, uncertainty, lack of people are losing income. And this is really important. So instead of discounting stuff, just pick the right partnerships, right? Like, I got a discount. I got to do this. I got to do that. No, find people like Nicole and Jeff to work things out. Find ways to work together, right? Authentic realness. So let me ask you this, and we'll get Jeff's input because he's part of this. And this is why I was like, oh, wow, Jeff. And I saw, me, right? I can't see a whole bunch of awesome winners and sit on the back line, right? I got FOMO. But also, seriously, I choose what I engage in or take a look at based on who is here. And that didn't take me long to say, oh, wow, I can really get involved with this. So every entrepreneur and their mama probably knows or tries to throw a summit these days, right? There's tons of summits and everywhere. Some are good, but some are like watching paint dry. They're that exciting, right? So what are the key ingredients, in your opinion and your background and your experience, that make a summit irresistible to an audience? So if somebody else wants to start a summit, what are some key ingredients that they should consider first before trying to go this venture?
Well, first of all, you want to know that if you want to generate leads, if you want to get people's email, then you have to get people to show up, just like you stated, Mike. And in order to get them to show up, is there something that they want to hear? What's in it for me, right? Value. In business, what's the value? What am I getting out of this? Why do I want to watch it? Why would I want to watch the replay? And for a summit, when Dr. Jeff was on Hacking the Matrix, and you too, Mike, people connected, people stayed. They reached out to each other. They scheduled podcasts. They got on each other's shows. They did one-to-one. There was coaching that was set up from it. People got extraordinary value. And there was pages. One lady gave this amazing testimony, and it was just pages long of each speaker, of really the value that she got from it. Not just, hey, it was a good speaker, pat on the back, but she really detailed what was there. Sabrina came to one of the coaching summits and she got some value out of it and scheduled a podcast. She did some one-to-one coaching. There was talk and connection. And that's the important thing. Are people networking? Are they connecting to you? Are they listening to what you're saying? So if your speakers have value and your speakers, and if the schedule is set up right and the speakers align, then the energy is great and people want to stay. They want to feel embraced, like they're worthy in the audience to show up.
Oh yeah, no, and that's it. True value. So let me ask you this, because it's funny to me. I don't know if it's just me. I'm going to ask both you and Jeff. When I go to a summit or kind of like that kind of scene where the speakers are talking and the people are listening, and there's multiple speakers, I usually get more either referral partners or clients from the other speakers. Like I didn't even expect that. Like I would say 99% so far, or people that were other speakers going, hey, the redneck made sense. Like I need that. And vice versa. Like I would hear another speaker and I'm like, that I might actually need that. So has that been your, Jeff, first of all, welcome again. And second of all, you're welcome. And second of all, what's your experience with summits? Have you done them before? Have you just participated? Have you created them? Have you done them a long time? Like, let's start there. What's your...
So I want to just add a little nugget to what Nicole was talking about, because, COVID was a blessing in disguise in good ways and not good ways. But what I mean by that, it really provided a platform for people who were at a point where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but they wanted to level up and do something with themselves to really find their purpose. And the summits, what you're doing here with the Hounds, are platforms that people are seeking and really hungry for. So I want to applaud you guys, both of you, for Nicole and her summits, and Mike with the Hounds. But I was a nonverbal, pretty much a nonverbal person. I worked in corporate America for 27 years. I sat behind my desk. I didn't say anything. We couldn't say anything because it didn't, allow us to speak, basically. But with that being said, in my journey, I found that attending these things have been really opening up the doors in many, many ways. There are good events and there are bad events, and you have to just pick and choose. And then as I've over the last years, I have honed in on really just doing my research on the individual who's hosting the shows, and getting to know, like, and trust the individual, because I want to be able to provide value for the audience when they leave the summit. And it's all about providing that value and having them walk away with some really good nuggets to, mull over with whatever they're looking for, because these types of things, people will sit and look, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I could do that. Maybe I can't. And why am I saying that? Because I have my own syndicated TV series now. I never thought I would ever do that. So it's syndicated. Wow. I'm in my 6th season. I think I'm in episode in the 60s right now. So, so these types of things spawn off and give you that hope. How can you get your message out? So, and I think as you go along, as you might, because we get it through your training, through the Hounds, about the pros and cons of getting out there and being on social media and being present and providing value.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And again, and for some reason, there's a lot more comments than I'm seeing. I popped back on my LinkedIn and saw Anthony Williams. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to mosey on over to Hounds of Business on YouTube, we'll be able to see it there, brother. So if you're not being seen and we're ignoring you, that's why, because we do not want to do that, man. We appreciate everyone. You have other things you could be doing, and you're here, dadgummit. So thank you. And no, that makes sense, Jeff. The silver lining of COVID, that's what I call it. It was awful in many ways, but now there's 85-year-old women that can use Zoom. Like, I don't have to leave the house anymore, man. Like, like we can compress time frames, and things that, COVID taught us that most of these stupid meetings we had, especially in corporate, could have been emails, right? Like, it's a lot of silver lining, but I'm glad that we didn't let go of the online, preference. I prefer to do business online. I was so restricted in a locality and having to fly around, if anything. Now you can connect with people in nanoseconds, right? You can do this that we could never do before. And now it's mainstream. And that's what I feel like virtual summits are happening, because, they're just like cars. Some are better than others, right? Some break down quicker and, but they're still very valuable. All right. I've seen a lot of value. So let's dive into that a little bitty bit. Because we talked about this, woo, some of them, like I glaze over on some of them, man. Like a donut at a Weight Watchers meeting. But I try. Hey, if y'all don't like my sayings, y'all got to blame Bill Forrester. He's the one that keeps saying, stop holding it back. But we talked about this, but how is technology, especially in the virtual realm, because things are moving faster than my country butt can keep up with.
Mhm.
But I'm also intrigued by it. I'm no longer intimidated. And I think that's because I have folks like you and Nicole and CJ and all these great hounds. But, how the regular folks who don't have access to y'all yet in the hounds, how is technology changing the game, Nicole? Why should we care? I know it sounds like a blanket question, but maybe there's some folks that just don't get that. Maybe they accidentally landed on this channel, right? And they're hearing this. Right? So it happens. But why is it important? Like, what is the benefit? Even if you're uncomfortable, why should they do it anyway?
Well, that's a great question, because even teaching, mentoring people and really sharing the how of why they want to do this. It's so simple these days. I mean, I grew up in Silicon Valley in the 80s. We had Pong back in the day, in the 7-foot fax machine, right? With a green and white paper. We actually had to pick up a phone, dial a number, and call for our fax. And it was so huge, and just wait minutes for it to process. You had 10.5-inch floppy disk. You had in order to do MS-DOS, which was programming, you had to program the computer to get it to do anything back in the day in the green screen, right? But what happened was you had to know certain language, and you had to get educated. You had to learn. You had to find somebody that knew what they were going to talk about. And here's the thing. They didn't want to share it. Programmers didn't want to share nothing. It was special because they went through training. It was theirs. They wouldn't share it. But today, it's so simple. We push a button, we get on. If you go into virtual reality like Spatial.io, you don't need a headset. You don't need gear. You can just click the link. You don't have to download the client. Click the link, just like Zoom. Get in. Boom, you're there. Woohoo! You can see your face. You can come as an avatar. It's fun. The thing is, it is so simple. And the reason you have to know it, or I encourage you to know it, is that your business, if you have a business, you need to think more than 5 steps ahead. Patrick Bet-David talks about it all the time. What's your next 5 moves? It's like a chess game here. You have to plan out your next 5 moves because it changes all the time. And you don't need to wait at Best Buy for 3 days and camp out to get the new accessory. It's very simple. I've taught 80-year-olds how to use this. I've taught 23-year-olds how to use this, right?
Taught me how to use it.
But you can just get into it. And just like Zoom, the reason is because this is where our business is going to live. And that's why I have something called the Pain Point Podcast. It's offering solutions to people, very simple solutions that we don't think about every day for your business's pain point. And what does that do? Just like this show here, this is a virtual stage. We are in the virtual space. This is a solution for my business to get seen and heard. It's a solution for us to connect to the hounds. It's a solution without things like this, without Zoom, without YouTube, without anything else. And I'm not 20. I'm not going to get in a bikini and go wash a car. So it doesn't help me to do that, right? And nobody wants to see me. They'll pay me to go away, honestly. But the thing is if you use this the way with the love and the honest, the heartfelt, and you're following your passion, people will get to see this. And if we help, and I train and I onboard people, it takes minutes to get someone, once they get out of the headspace, just try this, click this button, and go in there. This is how it looks. And to share with them how it works. And I think that's most of it. It's not fear porn. People aren't worried about that they're all going to get the chip. You might not just be that special. But the thing is that you're not going to get Neuralinked. But the thing is that you don't want to get left behind in your business. But you can bring love into this space, and you can connect with people at all times. And why not learn it? This is so integral to your business. People live here. It's 360 degrees. It's an immersive space. You can sell digital products. You can delegate and be good and make lots of money and have somebody else do it. Walk away, go to the Bahamas, go on a cruise, go on April's Tomo tour. This is the way we do business, and crypto's in there, and you can learn a little bit, and people share these things, and people see, it's that simple. It's this easy. It's okay to do this. And once you walk people through it and you train them and don't just sell them a $10,000 product, walk away and not teach them how to use it in their business, then you get return clients. And we can love on one another at a global scale. How awesome is that?
Exactly. And I want Jeff to chime in, but I want to make a point. So I can see two camps, right? One of them going, "Oh man, it's stuffy and it's awkward. It's hard to navigate. I'm blah blah blah." And then the other camp, all y'all do is have a good time. Nobody makes money, right? I know both camps. That's why I'm saying that, because I can hear them both already, like the devil and the angel, right? And so that's what I mean, though. Like it's like saying again, a car, right? There's different cars for different purposes, different manufacturers. So on that note, what are some things that folks that want to engage into a summit, but they don't want to waste money on, like, again, if you have a hair salon, you probably don't want to be marketing that to all the bald people, right? So what are some things that people should ask themselves and look for, or even talk to the summit host about before investing as a speaker or a sponsor or even an attendee?
So when you have somebody coming in as a speaker, I talk to all my speakers. I'll have a group call, I'll have a one-to-one. I want to make sure that this is for them and that they align with the message of the overall summit. But the most important thing for me is media, it's exposure. And, like I've joined with you and we're collaborating on more media exposure within the Hounds. And I think it's great for people. As they get exposure, they get seen and heard, and it's integral for their business to market. It's a great way to be your own spokesperson. Who better to talk about your business but you?
Yeah. Right. And again, some people don't like the whole like getting to know you ecosystem. I love it. Most people I know, I love that. And that's important to me. Like, I like to have a good time. I like to rub elbows, get to know people, not be salesy and all that stuff. And then naturally learn about what people do. That's why I said earlier, most of the folks that I engage with and who come to me for services after a summit are the speakers. I'm still blown by that. Not that audience doesn't, and think about it, because the speakers are the people who invest. We know that they're going to invest. They're serious about building a business, right? They put their money where their mouth is, and they have an offering, and they're usually not new. They're seasoned. They're trying to scale up. So in my opinion, that's why I've really wow, I'm going to go to summits, right? Because the speakers are kind of like me, right? Or they could be ahead of me maybe, but there's always I never walk away going, well, that sucked. Like, at least not yours or CJ summits. But again, thank you for sharing that, because people can get caught up in the excitement and not realize, hey, it's not the summit that's the problem. Maybe it's you not asking about the target market. Hell, maybe you're not even dialed in. Maybe you're not clear about who your market is, right? Your ideal client, right? So there's a lot to it, but we're not going to drive people crazy. There's one last thing I want to talk about before we talk about the summit coming up, because you have workshop, right? Jeff's a part of, and then the summit, which we're all a part of. But for cause marketing, right? You talked about this. Sounds like you figured out how to make money by making the world a better place, right? So walk us through what, that looks like in real life, for cause marketing. What is it, and how do people get involved with it?
Well, I think it's an amazing way, really, with for cause marketing. You're sponsoring yourself and you're sponsoring your cause. And so if it's an example of that, again, is confronting domestic violence. And that's really, we're marketing with a heart. It's a great on a sales way or marketing. It's a hook, right? If I'm sharing a cause like Subaru, if you buy a Subaru and you got to pay several thousands of dollars, you're out of pocket, what, 30 to 50,000, whatever the markup is today. And then you support a tree in a forest somewhere, right? That you'll never see, you'll never plant, you'll never have engagement, but you're doing something good. This is such a small scale of that. To do something that you love and sharing with clients when they want to do a summit. If I'm helping someone build that, I really suggest that they have some type of underlying cause that they are supporting. So again, there's one more mission and purpose of how you're aligning with the servitude of what you do as a coach and what you do as a speaker. You want to serve people. What a better way to reach a global scale, to brand the cause and to share it on a marketing level with everybody, and to share the importance of what we do as human beings. This way you don't have to turn around and tie. That's just all rolled up in the package, and then you don't have to worry about it on the back end. But you also know that everybody here is aligned for the same purpose.
So Jeff, we got to ask, man, have you ever been to like, a summit that gave you nightmares before? You don't have to the devil call them out, but have you been the one you're like, oh, can I have a review?
Oh, yeah.
Can I get a time machine, man? So
exactly.
But
And
you've also been to Nicole's. So without calling anybody out, but like, what did you learn?
I think with, these individuals who are starting out in this industry, they're green, and it's a matter of how many summits that they've done, because it's a journey. And Nicole is, she's very, very, she's an expert at what she does. She's got everything together. The information is there. She provides really value on the people that she has invited to speak, and she provides enough value to for the reader to say, this sounds really good. I'm gonna sign up and join. I've been to some where you've got 4 or 5 lines, and it's like, okay, well, what is this all about? Or I've been invited to some. I'm like, well, I don't understand what the event is. Can you share what the purpose of the event is, and who is your target audience, and what is your message for this event? So I'm excited to be on the event again with Nicole and with you because it's fun, it's informative, and we have a good time. And that's what it's about, is having a good time and getting value from it.
And being around people in the audience and on the stage who are patient with you when you have a virus and can't talk like nothing but Porky Pig style. So that, like I would just pull the internet cables out or something and be like, oh, we had technical difficulties. But that's what I mean. So even if you're new to this, even if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to, but I'm afraid that it won't work out, I'll make a fool of myself. And we do think that. A lot of us do. We're intimidated, especially if we're older trying to build a business and we're not familiar with the technology or we're not familiar with the people. And what I say to that is do it anyway, right? Especially this group of people. You're not going to walk in and get hazed here, right? Like, this is a welcoming bunch of people. We all started off with nothing, most of us anyway. And so we understand it. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, real quick, it's about learning. And again, I go back to the days, what did you do before computers were here? And then you got Microsoft, and you got IBM, and you got all those companies that started out, and you were like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Well, now you're like, it's an everyday thing for you. So it's about becoming comfortable in your uncomfortable zone, because that is when growth happens and innovation thrives. And you'd be amazed once you get into that uncomfortable zone, what can be unlocked for yourself from a personal or a business perspective.
I
Nicole?
agree with it 100%. And it's really just so much for me to give people a space, a safe and loving space to hold the container. That is where I'm good at. Those are my strengths, either cleaning up the chaos or holding a space and container and being grounded so you can share your message and you can go, like Billy Carson says, woke doesn't mean broke. You don't have to be broke. Share your services and get on the stage. Oh, thanks. Oh, there's the website. You got it.
Yeah,
you've got to accept it.
So again, we wanted to give people a takeaway, right? If you're looking to host, what are some things you should ask yourself and consider beforehand? And thank you for covering that earlier. So go back and watch the replay if you missed it. But more, as importantly, if you're trying to find one to learn from, right? If you're an audience member wanting to learn some good info, right? Find people that could take you next level, right? See what they're made of. Right. Is there value there? Do I like them? All that stuff. But also, being a speaker. So if you guys want to tap into one that we endorse and I'm going to be on and all this stuff, learn more about it anyway, then you can set with Nicole. So go down there at the bottom of the screen, NicoleBorgie.com. Connect with her also on LinkedIn. Shoot a message, or you can reach out to us because we're promoting and we're sponsoring this event. Most of us are speaking at it. So if you want to walk us through what is Control-Alt-Scale, who's it for? Just kind of walk us through it. And then some of these folks who are already on early, right? David Manansky, right? Jaded Health, that's the guy. So, yeah, walk us through a little bit.
Okay, so really what Control Alt Scale is really for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. It's really sharing, as a good leader, as a good business owner, if you're a good leader, you either know what your strengths, you should hopefully know what your strengths are, reach out and we can help you define that. But when you know what your strengths are, and then you can know what you need in your business. And it's really to share people like you, Mark, or Dr. Jeffrey and David on here, and there's and Scott who's on here as well. It shares with you how to either do sales or generate income and growth, or maybe you need a CRM or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you need in your business? But do you know enough as a good leader to make the judgment to delegate to the service that you're buying from, or the person that you're buying from? Do you know about that person enough? And again, it's connection and community and knowledge. Do you know enough about the service that they provide that you're putting that money there, and that's going to come back to you tenfold, and it's going to help your business boom, and you're going to scale without burnout? And that's very much part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that stand out to me. It's like, I got to do something. I just can't sit there and not do something, right? Well, I didn't get that many sales this month, or, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why you got to hone in on these questions. Now you have to still invest, but you have to be wiser, more discerning, perhaps, right? And that's, to me, that's everything. So I look at, Jeff, chime in, because it's just me. I'm not, I'm not the expert. Nicole is the digital diva, but for me, I look at who, because that's just me. I look at who. So when I saw people that actually do stuff, right, like David, this guy is tried and true, because here's why. You can look at websites, you can look at all this media, it's static. And I'm not saying it's bad, but when you actually watch and engage with somebody on a summit, now you're picturing yourself, how is this dynamic going to work, right? Because if you have two companies, two websites, how are you going to pick them? Based on value? Well, they're very similar, almost identical. But if you got those people up there and they're talking about stuff, now you might gravitate one to the other, right? You might say, oh, hey, this person can get me. It's like when I listened to Andy Warble and Rich Nazaro, right? They're a SaaS company. Like they can talk to a 90-year-old woman and she could be up and running in 2 weeks, right? And you wouldn't know that by a website. You would only know that by seeing them active, right? It sounds crazy, but chime in, audience. It's something I've noticed that, like, when ultra wealthy people want to invest and help somebody out, and they'll bring that person to, hey, let's have lunch. And they're like, well, I ain't got time for lunch. What's the point? No, because they want to see how you treat the waiter, how you conduct yourself. Like, they're looking at that aspect. So for me, that's what I like about it. I get to see that person in action and go, yeah, man, I can really vibe with that person. I can see us working together. I can see us partnerships. I can see how our dynamic might unfold. And that just makes the meeting we have afterwards even more supercharged. What do y'all think? Because to me, that's what it is. Websites and static and watching somebody on a stage. But when you interact, man, you get to see them as they are. There's no faking it.
Right. And I think to add to this, Mike, we talk about know, like, trust. This is a platform where you start to really get to know people, like them for who they are and what they are all about and what their mission is. And then you start trusting them because they're getting engaged. They're out there in the public's eye much more than hiding behind the scenes. So, and you talk about this from the very, very beginning. And I'm sure this is pretty common knowledge for the viewers out there today who are following the Hounds. So,
yeah. Nicole, do you have anything to add, or do you just want to jump into, because even I'm confused because I've been like fever brain and not paying half attention to everything. But is this the workshop?
This is the workshop, the Prosperity Portal. And so it's really to share, to get heal, aligned, and ascend. And look at these beautiful people that are on here. Dr. Jeffrey's on here, Sabrina Johnson, Michelle Ward, April Wyatt, David Madansky. Such beautiful people coming in here to really share the alignment. And if we really start to align with our worth and our value, and we are open to getting seen and heard and offering value, and know that we are valuable as humans, as we are personally our own unique unicorns. It's just really it's a soul soaked immersion with sacred wealth, unapologetic visibility, and magnetic healing for coaches and healers. If we flip the script and you're no longer the 99% that's in at the poor level and the 1% that are rich, let's all bring it up. It's okay. It's just energy. And really sharing that there is enough wealth and abundance for us as we manifest, and to really bring this into our lives. And there's a panel with Q&A on the first day, and I'll be asking these coaches and healers wonderful questions about, you know, what they're doing and how they're changing and what they'll be implementing in these days. And it's a practitioner event, so it's actually a workshop. We're having, you know, there's an intention that'll be set in here. There's some meditations in here. There's some lessons in here. And it's really to change that. And as we educate and grow and actually do, knowledge is powerful if you take action with it. And this is what this is all about, is that frequency change.
All right. So before we get to midnight, so so what are the dates? So we have the Control Alt. See, I almost gonna say delete.
Scale.
Control Alt Scale, and that's the main summit, and then we have the workshop. So tell folks about the summit. Who's it for? Right. So tell them, you know, coaches, whatever, solopreneurs, and then the workshop, and then hey, how do they get in connected, or how do they learn more so they can get on board before it's too late?
Well, the summit, Control Alt Scale, and it's really the solopreneurs, founders of the future. So it's a long thing, but just Control Alt Scale, because it's all about getting into the virtual space and hitting your keyboard like the keyboard bandit and being able to travel. It's for coaches and healers to really captivate their clients with reliable resources and how to implement these resources and tools. And it's free to attend. Absolutely. There's a VIP package where you get some added value and some giveaways from the speakers. And we have twice as many coming on. They haven't hit the board yet, but I'm speaking to them one-on-one. And you can come in and get your free ticket and come check it out. It's a couple days there. That is June 18th and 19th. And free to attend. And then the 3-day the Prosperity Portal, Heal, Align, and Ascend is a 3-day event as well, and it is June 5th, which will be the panel Q&A. We'll also have a networking, so you can get to know the practitioners and get to align with them in the workshop. And then the 6th and 7th will be the meditations and the courses and all kinds of hands-on goodies and giveaways in there as well.
Oh, you all want to go to the networking. I'm telling you, like all of it, but that right there would be enough for me. And I'm not saying that like, you know, the cheesy thing, but it is like, let me go back up, because before we end, I want to see, because I was reading this. I didn't even know. I haven't updated. I can't wait to get better here soon. Let's go back up. So, you know, I'm going to mess his name up. Is it Schoen?
Schoen, yeah.
Schoen? All right, Schoen. It says ultimate lead follow-up. How to get 5 new clients in the next 30 days. Now, I'm going to attend that. That's a good statement, right? And then we got Scott, the 3 absolutes in any presentation. All right. So when I look at this panel, I'm like, this is stuff that I'm interested in. Like, this is stuff that solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, people that are doing things, coaches, experts, consultants, right? This is the stuff that they need. And this is their audience is going to be listening to this, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Rhiannon is a marketer. She used to market for large companies, corporate America, and she really teaches you. She does the marketing for you so you can expand into your client outreach and the avatar and get better at it and just really engage like you're supposed to. And then Schoen, his is marketing and how to get clients, and he just really he's been doing this for years. There's another gentleman here, Scott. He's so great at sales, and he's so nonchalant, and he's such a natural at it. He's been doing it for years. He's got such great experience. People pay him to sell their stuff. That's how good he is. So you hire him, he's going to sell anything for you, but he teaches you how to do it yourself. And that's what's amazing.
Wait a minute. These are actually people doing it in the marketplace well?
Yes, they are very successful
Yes.
people. Brianne's been doing this for, I believe she's been 8 years on her own. Scott's been 20 plus years. Shone's been, I'm sure he's more than 10 to 15 years been doing this lead generation. And lead generation is where it's at. We need to generate leads and have a market to sell to.
There's only one problem here. Where the hell's my face at?
You haven't accepted the invitation yet.
Oh, it's my fault. See,
Come
I
on, Mike.
I dropped the ball.
Get your act together.
All right. I figured since we talked all the time, that I could get away with it, but I have to follow the rules too. Very good to
You
know.
have to click it. I can't do it for you. Sorry, I
Okay.
can't get in the back office and do that one for you.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm going to go weed through the 8,000 emails to find it, or you can send it again, and I
I'll send it
promise
again.
I'll do it. But no, we have fun. But, folks, again, I never want to do infomercials, but listen, if we don't put this stuff out there, how in the world is people going to know about it? Right? This is organic. This is good people. You're going to get a lot out of it, whether you attend as an audience member, right, participant, and or as a keynote, right? And you all have sponsorships available. There's a lot of options. So don't think it's not affordable and worth it. The ROI on this thing is crazy. What is the basic lowest speaker rate right now? Do you mind telling us?
The lowest speaker rate for me or for as a whole for
Yeah,
summits?
if like the range of what they get. So what is the speaker fees ranging at?
So speaker fees for most places, the summits that people attend that don't align are free, and so you're not going to get much out of it. So we've already addressed that. Then
Right.
it goes into about a 47 to $300 to $5,000 speaker fees. But we want to keep it reasonable for people, and we want to offer value. So offering them, our articles, shameless
Yeah.
plugs, podcast interviews, networking panels. And this is all about media and getting seen and heard.
Right. And I love the fact that you're making this affordable and accessible, right? You don't have to ever if you want more out of it and you're able to, there's packages available, right? We're promoting it. Other people are pushing it. So you're going to get a lot more out of this than just the speaker spot if you want to. But if you're just starting off or times are tough for you, hey, then, you got a speaker spot, right? So just have the conversation. I want to make sure, because there's a lot of stuff out there. People get confused. It's not the only option. It's not the only good option, but it is the option that we chose to hone in on, right? We know it's good. So thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. Yolanda is here. Thank you so much. So many people were commenting on LinkedIn. I didn't even see them on the back room here. So yeah, if I didn't get to you, my apologies. I'll go back through it. But folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, April. And did you see what April said? It's not always about me. No,
Yeah.
but I need somebody I need somebody to help me out. And, but these guys do it. Thank you so much. And Nicole has been super patient with me. And so I'm excited. I wanted to make sure we share it. So follow us on LinkedIn, folks. Hounds of Business. We'll be putting things out there. We also, April, before you leave, if you want to, on LinkedIn or YouTube, you may have missed it, but we talked about your upcoming retreat. All right. So if you want to put that out there, we'll be sharing that. And we got a lot of things around the corner in the Hounds of Business. We just had a ton of amazing meetings, and we got partnerships with other great organizations, communities, Pantheon FM. They're just coming in drones, right? And that's good for us. That's good for you. It's not all about the Hounds. Hey, if we find other communities that are out there kicking butt and doing things different, why would we create the wheel? Let's go align with them, right? Make it available. So by the way, look at my YouTube, shameless plug for Grand Connection. Susan is the leader of that. And we have the honor of tomorrow at 3 p.m. So it's Thursday at 3 p.m., May 15th. And it goes to about 5 p.m. Come if you can. If you can't stay the whole time, come anyway. But I'm one of the speakers, and there's 2 other communities that are going to be there. So now we're all mixing, right? Sometimes you want to mix with other people and get to know people you don't know outside the community. So I'm really excited about it. I'll be talking about being a master attractor, how to attract clients instead of dog catching and doing silly stuff that you don't even want to do, right? And these folks are going to talk about, other things like retention and building and getting more clients from your fans and followers, folks that love what you do. They've been there. And so this is going to be relationship retention. You're going to get a lot out of this. Plus, you're going to meet some folks from some key communities. right? You're going to be able to network and not just chat and have a good time, but really make connections of folks that can introduce you to people that can either work with you or they can refer you to those. All right. So I'm super excited. Thank you, Susan. That is Grand Connection. If you want to shoot me a DM in LinkedIn, I'll be happy to hook you up with that. We've got a link for us, so we know you came through us. So any last words, anything else? Jeff, you've been a great guy.
Thanks for having me on. It was great. So, yeah, I'm excited, and I think seeing the comments here from the guests who are watching are excited about the summit. So, sign up and join us for it. It's going to be a great ride.
Absolutely, Nicole. Thank you so much for all you do. Anything else you want to share with the folks? Encourage them, or?
Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you for this community. It is so important, and there's so much worth and value here, and getting seen and heard. For me, it's been a ride, and I love this. And thank you so much, and the support that we get in the chat as well of people who are very interested in the summit and being supportive.
Absolutely. Y'all are the best. So I'm going to go heal. We'll be back on track. But don't do it alone, folks. If you're curious, you're like, what's all this Hounds of Business and all these happy people, making money and not doing pitch slapping and stuff? Well, hey, we got to discover the Hounds group call for that. So just shoot me a DM. Send us one through the Hounds of Business on LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, always put those in the comments. So go test drive us. Go check us out. If we're not your cup of tea, we know people. We're working with people that are your cup of tea, right? So we just want you to get unstuck, man. You have an impact to make in this world. You're going to take the risk and give up your 401ks and all this stuff to go do it. We want to make sure that shit happens like now, like it's a reality. So thank you all for being who you are. Thank you folks in the comments, audience, friends of the Hounds, and the Deer Hounds themselves. And we will see you back next week, folks. Have a great, great day. Don't get sick.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, it's my kids. I sit in my office shed all day, folks. How do I get sick? It's the kids. They bring that stuff back from school. So because of my kids, I have an immune system. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Have a good one, folks. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.